Now at 5, Joplin police investigate 2 shootings they say are connected. Plus,
Freeman Health System gives a $1 million donation for the Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center at Missouri Southern. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
And the Democratic National Convention starts tonight. We'll tell you what to expect for day 1.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Missouri Southern facility gets a 7-figure gift as students return to classes. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Freeman Health System today gave MSSU $1 million to support the future Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center. KOAM Samantha Walker has more on how leaders at MSU and Freeman hope this donation will help address a local health care shortage.
I think it is a vote of confidence for Missouri Southern and the recognition that what Missouri Southern is providing for our students, but also for the greater community, is tremendous.
A $1 million donation from Freeman Health System is going to MSSU's future Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center. The center will provide students immersive learning opportunities for those going into the healthcare field.
This is a very natural partnership for Freeman Health System. We depend so heavily upon Missouri Southern for training healthcare professionals. So these new programs are going to benefit the entire region, but not just today or next month or next year or 5 years from now, but for generations to come.
In recognition of the support, the university is naming 2 learning spaces in the facility, the Freeman Skills Lab and the Freeman Simulation Classroom.
But the heart of it is providing tremendous immersive learning opportunities for our students. Will really transform our teaching and learning and prepare our students so well for the next step in their careers.
Officials with both Freeman and Missouri Southern say this donation will help them continue to address the shortages within the healthcare industry.
When we know that there is a shortage of healthcare providers in different areas and we are offering those educational programs, then we need to look at how can we expand those, how can we take more students, if there's additional credentials that our workforce community needs. Then what? So I do anticipate a way to increase our enrollment and our graduates for these healthcare professionals that are out in the community. That is a critical part of why we're doing all of this with the new building.
And according to Lemons, students are already expressing their excitement for the future facility.
I have been in the classroom working with lots of students and I have heard so many comments. They are so excited. The fact that we're going to have a building that has a simulation hospital in it with our anatomy and physiology labs, with our expanded cadaver labs. I've heard firsthand, maybe I should postpone graduation. And I said, I don't know that I would go that far, but keep your ears open for additional opportunities that I think we can plan with this facility.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Missouri Southern hopes to have that Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center completed in the fall of 2026. Pitt State students today also returned to the classroom. PSU is hosting a variety of back-to-school events for students returning to campus for the fall semester throughout the week. They include first-day photos and community and involvement fairs. They weren't the only students in Pittsburgh heading back to school. The Pittsburgh Community School District started classes today for most students. This is video of students at George Nettles Elementary after their first day back. Some students, including freshmen, began last week. Some of us got a bit of rain. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, again, we got some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the region during the morning hours, and I hope you got some rain over the past couple days because we are going to dry up as we go through the next few days, but at least temperatures are great. Look at this, mid-80s, Joplin, also in Pittsburgh, temperatures are looking fantastic across the region. As we go through the evening hours, our temperatures will slowly drop back, but still 86 in Stockton, 85 in Anderson, 85 in Welch. Chanute is sitting at 87 degrees. Through the evening, we slide back through the 80s into the 70s. Not too much is going on. We have pretty much clear skies, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the evening hours for us tonight. So just not too much going on. Temperatures still look pretty good over the next couple days. You can see them warming up a bit out to our south and to our west. We will have a warming trend. We're going to talk about that here in just a bit.
Catching a few. Joplin police believe 2 early Sunday morning shootings are related. The first happened around 2 a.m. Sunday. Police responded to a home with a large gathering of people at 830 South Grand Avenue. They found a man with a gunshot wound, rushed him to the hospital. Then about 30 minutes later and a couple of miles away, officers responded to 811 South Massachusetts Avenue, where they found another man with gunshot injuries, took him to the hospital. The JPD says the second victim was shot at the first location, then drove off before contacting police. Authorities are investigating, but they have not yet made any arrests. The Democratic National Convention is kicking off today. President Biden will deliver the keynote speech tonight, but the rest of the week will focus on the future with Vice President Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket. A new CBS News YouGov poll shows Vice President Harris goes into the convention with a 3-point lead nationally over former President Donald Trump, but she's effectively tied in the battleground states that are likely to decide the race. You can catch coverage of the event right here on KOAM and on our sister station, Fox 14, beginning at 9 tonight. As the DNC kicks off, former President Donald Trump kicks off one of the busiest campaign weeks. He's on a blitz of battleground states, talking today to voters in York, Pennsylvania, where he detailed his plans to help Americans and tackle inflation. That includes cutting taxes and regulations, cracking down on outsourcing, and promoting products made in the U.S. Former Congressman George Santos pleaded guilty today to fraud charges in federal court. Santos faced 23 counts, including wire fraud, money laundering, and identity theft. The New York Republican was expelled from Congress last year. A House Ethics Committee report found he also grifted from his donors using thousands of campaign dollars for himself. And legendary talk show host Phil Donahue has died after a long illness. His publicist says the 88-year-old was surrounded by his wife, actor Marlo Thomas, his sister, children, and grandchildren. President Biden awarded Donahue the Presidential Medal of Freeman earlier this year. Donahue was a trailblazer for talk TV, having one of the first talk shows in TV history in introducing audience participation. Still ahead, a new emergency treatment.
I'm Bradley Blackburn with a look at a gel made from algae that can stop severe bleeding in trauma injuries.
Plus, as students head back to school, we're going to have tips to keep them safe from germs. Topping today's Health Watch, as children head back to school, so do germs. They can lead to pink eye, flu bugs, and a constant stream of colds. Dr. Omar Mohammed at Mercy Joplin says prevention is key. 80% of infectious diseases are spread by touch, so hand washing is important. You know that. He also recommends setting a strict nighttime routine to ensure your little ones get a full 8 hours sleep.
The only thing we recommend in bed that we do is either sleep or read a physical book. So not being on our tablet, not watching TV, not playing video games, not listening to music, none of that.
Go to the next one.
It's natural for some kids to have a tougher immune system than others. Tonight at 6, we're going to meet a Pittsburgh mother worried about school year and what it could mean, possibly another string of hospital visits for her youngest, plus more tips to keep your family healthy. The FDA cleared the way for a new gel designed to stop severe bleeding in just seconds. It's called Trauma Gel, and it's actually derived from algae. Reporter Bradley Blackburn introduces us to the inventor who expects his technology could transform trauma care.
And this line is sized to produce about 250,000 syringes on a monthly basis.
What's happening here at this biomanufacturing facility in Brooklyn could be a matter of life and death. Inside these syringes, a new potentially life-saving gel that can stop severe bleeding in seconds, called Trauma Gel.
One syringe will be enough to treat just about the largest bleed that you can imagine. Gunshot wounds, stabbings, motor vehicle accidents.
Cressalon CEO and co-founder Joe Landolina launched the company out of his NYU dorm room in 2010, when the young scientist stumbled upon a gel that stuck to his skin.
I had this idea that what if you took that gel and put it into a bleeding bullet wound to get a patient from point A to point B without them bleeding out.
The gel is made from algae and has the consistency of hummus. Once it comes into contact with a wound, it forms a mechanical barrier against bleeding, and no manual pressure is required. Blood loss and traumatic wounds is responsible for more than 35% of all pre-hospital deaths.
A product like this that's able to stop bleeding quickly and effectively can save countless lives.
Trauma Gel is the company's second FDA clearance. It already has a hemostatic gel to treat minor cuts and scrapes and a veterinary gel for pets.
This product for animals is being used a lot already, and people may not even be aware of it.
Exactly.
Federal go-ahead for this new product is based on preclinical data. Landalina expects to roll out Trauma Gel to hospitals and EMS teams later this year and hopefully start saving lives. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Brooklyn.
That company expects the product to be used on the battlefield and is also working with the Department of Defense to determine if it can be helpful with traumatic brain injuries. A new test could help stop the spread of a sexually transmitted disease by making it easier for people to learn their status. Sales for the first at-home over-the-counter syphilis test have been approved. If the personal tests positive, then they're advised to visit a healthcare provider. The test will take just 15 minutes from start to finish. The maker of the new test, Now Diagnostics, says it should be available in the next few months and it'll cost about $30. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, what AAA expects from this year's Labor Day weekend travel.
Plus, we have great temperatures outside today. How long will they stick around? We'll look at that coming up. Well, of course, for us today, we did have some scattered showers and thunderstorms during the morning hours, and then we broke out, saw partly sunny skies, and that's what we have right now. A nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Mostly sunny skies. Temperatures pretty good as well. We've been mainly sitting into the 80s throughout the daytime hours for us today, and that's probably our big story this week, or at least over the next couple days, is we stick with the really nice temperatures. 85 in Carthage, 83 in Monette, Bentonville sitting at 83, 86 in Grove, Pittsburgh 84, 87 in Chanute, and we aren't alone. Really, the entire Central Plains, very nice temperatures. Now, the extreme heat still from Oklahoma City, Dallas to Amarillo, but it's going to stay back to our south and to our west as we go through the next couple days. Let's go outside. It's 85 east northeasterly winds at about 10 miles per hour. Through the evening, 80s, 70s, 60s. So it's going to feel very comfortable once we get into the overnight hours for us tonight. So let's see what these temperatures do as we go through the next couple days. We're going to stop tomorrow morning. Look at this, 62 in Cassville, 66 in Veneta, 63 in Chanute, Bentonville sitting at 65 degrees, so pretty comfortable. We do get some clouds midday, and there may be a random sprinkle, maybe a random quick little shower. It's not really going to amount to anything that tries to push through midday. Once we get into the afternoon sunshine, most of us back up into the mid-80s for highs. Tomorrow night, pretty much clear skies. Again, we drop back lower 60s, so very comfortable to start your Wednesday. Once we get into Wednesday afternoon, mid-80s once again, but another fantastic day of fantastic temperatures across the region. Day planner for you Tuesday, 65 to start, 79 by noon, 83 by 4. I think our high temp right around 85 degrees as we get into the afternoon hours. All right, any rain we had earlier today raced out of here, so we have clear skies now. We have some showers out south of Wichita. These will stay west. Here's that next little wave that will give us a few clouds and maybe a random shower for us tomorrow. Besides that, we're looking pretty dry. We're still dominated, big dome of high pressure out across parts of Texas. And as we go through the week, it kind of slowly moves in. So as it does so, it'll keep any rain out of here, but it'll also give us a slow warming trend as we head through the week and then heading into the weekend. But overall, not bad. Temperature is pretty good for the last third of August, but you can see this area of high pressure kind of sits on us for about the next week. So let's look at the second half of the work week. We do start to heat up a little bit, near 90 on Thursday. Once we get into Friday, we go into the mid to upper 90s, so it gets a little bit hotter. And then as we head into the weekend, we are going to get some chances to get some scattered thunderstorms in here. So here's Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon is going to be hot, and even on Sunday morning we may get a few scattered thunderstorms. Until then, we will stay mainly dry. 85 tomorrow, 87 Wednesday and Thursday. Overnight lows lower 60, so pretty hard to beat. 93 on Friday, 94s over the weekend, 95 next Monday. So a slow warming trend, but some chances for scattered thunderstorms as we head into the weekend.
Yeah, in the meantime, loving the temps.
Yeah,
and you get any chance for thunderstorms in August in the 4 states, you take them.
Yeah, definitely. You have to.
Thanks, Doug. Do you feel secure with your job? Coming up, we're going to have the results of a survey looking at Americans' feelings on job security. Topping today's Consumer Watch, AAA expects a very busy Labor Day weekend to cap off a record-breaking summer travel season. American Airlines says this year is going to be its busiest Labor Day weekend ever, flying nearly 4 million people. That's up 14% from last year. As Chris Van Cleve shows us, many flyers are choosing some unexpected destinations.
Naveen Chopra is hoping to beat the Labor Day rush by squeezing in one last summer trip with his family now, trading the blistering heat of Phoenix for Calgary.
Before the kids go back into college, and then just having some time before everyone's back in the offices and school.
AAA says domestic travel will be the focus this Labor Day weekend, trending up 9% over last year. The cost to fly is down about 6%, and gas prices are roughly 44 cents a gallon cheaper than this time last year. United Airlines expects Friday, August 30th to be its busiest day of the long holiday weekend.
Overall, this summer has been busier than last summer.
AAA says the top destination? Seattle, driven by a nearly 30% surge in Alaskan cruises, helping Anchorage and Juneau, Alaska make their top 10 list.
There is this desire to go cruising, primarily because people can budget that vacation ahead of time. You know how much you're going to spend on drinks, you know how much you're going to spend on lodging, so you don't have to worry about it too much.
Travel website Priceline says while Europe and beach destinations are always big, the return of college football and the U.S. Open in New York are also going to be big draws. And CEO Brett Keller.
Event tourism has really taken off over the last couple of years, and this Labor Day in particular, big college towns are taking off: Atlanta, Miami, Nashville. There's a lot of people chasing sporting events as well as concerts.
Is it too late to start thinking about Labor Day weekend?
It's not too late to start thinking about Labor Day weekend. And if you're flexible with your destination, that really opens you up to cherry pick and find a location that fits your needs at a great price.
For one last taste of record-breaking summer travel, Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Phoenix.
New survey data shows Americans are starting to feel increasingly worried about losing their jobs. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York's latest survey on consumer labor market experiences and expectations show job, wage, and benefit satisfaction all sank in July. It also found the average expected livelihood of becoming unemployed, the likelihood it rose to 4.4%. That's the highest on record for the survey, which was started 10 years ago. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look at what President Biden will say at tonight's DNC as he passes the torch to Kamala Harris. Then on KOAM News at 6, how this weekend's storms impacted the start of school for students in Quapaw, Oklahoma. Plus, we're going to hear from a Pittsburgh mother worried about the spread of germs at her child's school and what it could mean for their health. And it's the start of high school football practice in Kansas. We're going to see how Pittsburgh's preparing for the upcoming season. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Hey, does this face look kind of familiar to you? In honor of back to school season here in the 4 states, some of your favorite members of the KOAM team are taking a trip back in time and sharing photos from their school days. We're going to have a quiz on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, where you can guess who is who. I'm not saying anything, but it's fun. Go to the website, check it out.
Interesting.
Some faces will seem a lot more familiar than others.
Probably.
Some people have changed a bit over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Some not so much. You know, if we have highs in the 80s anytime in August, we are glad to hear it. And that is the case right now.
Yeah, it looks pretty good as we go through the next few days. 85 tomorrow. Could get a random sprinkle. 87s Wednesday and Thursday. 90s return toward the weekend.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we're going to be right back here at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.